First of all, hi Carl. Thanks for joining us. First, yeah, so you're currently unbeaten and you're top of the table as well. So, what are your thoughts on the season so far?
Um, yeah, no, I think we've had a good start. Obviously, we're still unbeaten, so it's been a good start to the season. But I think, from my experience, it's very, very early in the season. So, we still have a lot to work on and a lot to improve on, for the second half of the season. But definitely for quite a new team, new management staff, a lot of new players. It's been a good start. Yeah.
All right, Carl, as he said that you're actually having a great season till now, and I hope that you do have a great ending to the season. But what are you expecting from the season from here?
Yes. I don't know. I think we have a good team. We have a good squad of players, a very good management staff, like I said, and I think we have a chance to make it a really good season. But there's a lot of good teams in the league this year, a lot of good managers, um, a lot of competition. So we know it's going to be very difficult. But I think if we just what we've been doing so far is just taking it one game at a time. Focusing on the next game and not getting too carried away or looking too far ahead. And I think, again, from my experience in football, that's all you can do, because if you start to look too far ahead, you can get a bloody nose very quick. So I think we're just focused now completely on Northeast away on Friday. It's going to be a very difficult game, and we want to try and end on a good note and a good performance before we break up for the Asian Cup.
As a Carl, FC Goa have had the best defense so far in the league, and till the last game, you were approximately 500 minutes without conceding a single goal. So, what are your thoughts on the defense so far?
Oh yeah, like really good. I think it's the whole team. The whole team works really hard. Without the ball, to be difficult to beat and not to give away many chances. I think it's well documented. Sandic and O'Day are, for me, the as good a partnership, a central defensive partnership as you're going to get in the league. Two very experienced, very smart players. And they give us a foundation to build from. And then obviously Sheraton has been fantastic as well. He maybe goes underrated a little bit, but he's been fantastic. Really has, and he's been at the club for a long time. He knows what it means to play for the club, and he's a very, very important player. And Jay obviously has come in this year and done well, and he's learning all the time as well. And he couldn't have it any better playing next to Sandish. At the start of his career, he's going to learn a lot from him. And Arshdeep's done fantastic as well in goals. So but as I said, it's the whole team. We work really hard, and we work hard in training, and Manolo and the staff they push us a lot, and to try and iron out the mistakes that we do make. But I think, like in any league in the world, if you can be defensively sound and not give away too many chances or too many goals, it gives you a platform, to build from. So it's something we're going to have to keep doing if we want to have a successful season. Yeah, it's again, it's been only a start, but a good start, and we have to keep improving.
So, Carl, with the competition increasing in ISL, how important is it for the team to maintain positive mindset?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely the mentality of the team is very important. And we're positive definitely, but we always want to do better, and we're self-critical as well. Even after victories, uh, the coach and the staff are always looking at what we can do better. And that's important, because in this league, I think a lot of the time, right from the top to the bottom, if you watch a lot of the games, it comes down to very small details decide games, whether it be set pieces or small mistakes. They decide games. But yeah, I think we've got a very humble group of players. there's no egos. Everyone works hard. There's no player is more important than anyone else. And it's for me, that's the kind of environment I want to be a part of. We come to work every day. Everyone works really, really hard. Um, and everyone supports whoever's playing. Everyone supports them, and it's a really, really good environment to be a part of at the minute.
Right, Carl. Actually, you know that Manolo Marquez is actually one of the best, gaffers in the league. And can you talk to me about how it has been going with him, your experience playing with him, and what are you learning from him?
No, it's been really good. Obviously, I've came up against him a lot of times in the last few years, and so I knew his teams were always very, very hard to play against. The games whenever we played them, it was always really, really close games. But no, I've really, really enjoyed it. I think his attention to detail is, that's probably what I've learned. You're always learning new things, even in my age. You're always learning. But yeah, his attention to detail is fantastic, and the way he sets teams up, and the way he deals with the players as well. I think you've seen in the few years he's been in India how many players he's developed, Mishra and Ashish Rai, and players like this that he's developed and have gone on to become international players. So yeah, I think it's a great opportunity for our young players as well, to work with him every day and to progress. So yeah, no, it's been great, a great experience for me so far.
Yeah, so Carl, in your last game against Mohun Bagan Super Giants, you won 4-1, and of course, you ended up being the player of the match. So it was a very special game for you as well because you were back in Salt Lake Stadium and you have played there for almost 4 seasons. So can you please walk us through the experience that you felt when you walked in?
That was great to win a big game. First and foremost, you're going away to the champions of last season. One of the bigger teams in the league. So the main thing was we wanted to go and put a good performance in, and I think the team played a really fantastic game. Everyone who played, everyone who come off the bench, it was a really, really team effort. So I was just really, really happy and really pleased to win in them circumstances. Yeah, that was really it. Yeah, obviously happy to win. Nice to go back to a stadium. I have a lot of happy memories in, but my full focus was going to win for Goa.
Yes, so Carl, FC Goa is currently top of the table and unbeaten, and with that, a lot of pressure comes in from both the medias and the fans. So how is the group dealing with all these kind of pressures?
To be honest, I think the internal pressure that we put on ourselves is more than, well, for me anyway, it's more than I would feel from the outside. The coach and the staff push us a lot. They put pressure on us on a daily basis to train properly and to play properly. So that's that's enough that's a lot of pressure that we put on ourselves. So I don't really. I think we're in a great position that we can just keep doing what we're doing and keep working hard. And if you're at the top of the league and people are speaking about you, it's a good position to be in.
All right. Carl, that the Super Cup is actually coming soon, and it's actually going to be a very good competition for the young Indian kids and Indian teenagers to show their worth because the first Indian team will be playing in the Asian Cup. So, how do you think that the Super Cup or the inclusion of the Super Cup will be beneficial for Indian football and for footballers like you?
I hope so. I hope it will. Yeah, we all have to wait and see how it's gonna play out. How it's going to be organized and everything when we get to Odisha. But theoretically, with the national team players being away, it would provide some more opportunities for maybe some younger players to get game time, and that would be fantastic. It's obviously going to be an important competition because of the continental spot for the winner. So yeah, it's going to be important. It's going to be very competitive. I would imagine teams are going to be, really focusing on it for that month to try and to get a continental spot. So yeah, but we will, after we, as I said before, play this Northeast game. That's what we're fully focused on, and I think once we come through that game, attentions will start to turn to the Super Cup then.
Yes, so Carl, you started your career with 80K back in 2019, and it's been almost 4 seasons you have been in India. So, has the Indian football changed in these 4 seasons?
I think it has. Yeah, I think the standards improved. Since I've came over, the standard of the Indian players has definitely improved. I think that's kind of evident in the national team's performance over the last few years as well. I think you're getting a lot of good coaches into the league, like we've seen this year, which is really important. That's what's really going to develop players. Um, and yeah, you're getting competitive, a really competitive competition. Um, I think it's obviously it's grown in terms of the amount of teams in the league and the amount of games that we play, which is important as well. I think that's going to be the future for the league, to try and expand to a bigger league with more games. But definitely improve. But still, I think the positive is there's still huge scope for improvement in football over here in the coming years. And there's a lot of good people involved, and there's a lot of interest in the football here. So I think it can just grow from strength to strength in the next 5 to 10 years.
Yes, so Carl, one of the rising talents of Indian football at this moment is Jay Gupta. So, what are your thoughts on him?
Jay's done great. Yeah, he's done really well for us. He's got like really good attributes. He's a really good athlete, and he's learning all the time, learning in a position probably maybe wouldn't have been his first position. He probably would have played centre half a bit, but no, he's done really well for us. Again, he's learning, and I think he knows he's got a lot of room for improvement, and it's just important for him to keep his feet on the ground, to learn from Sandesh, O'Day, Sheraton players that he's playing beside. He's very lucky in that sense that he's got really good seasoned professionals playing beside him, and he's got a lot of room for improvement. But hopefully, if he keeps working hard and keeps his feet on the ground, he can have a really good career here.
So, Carl, as a foreign player, what are your unique observations about the playing style and mentality of Indian football?
Um, in what sense?
Like as in general, like the mentality of the players and the match,
Oh,
like how they approach it.
okay. In terms of the players, I think the boys are very, very professional, very hardworking. They have they really want to do well, and they've a lot of talent, really good physicality, and really good physical attributes. A lot of the players, and you can see technically the players are improving all the time. You're getting a lot more technical players breaking through at a younger age. In terms of the style, I think what's unique about it here is every team has different styles of management or whatever. But in terms of the Indian players, yeah, really good professionals, really good mentality. And yeah, I think this, as I said, huge room for improvement in the national team going forward. And I think it's very exciting for everyone over here. We're all going to be tuned in for the Asian Cup, hoping for good performances and hopefully good results. And playing at these kind of competitions is going to be huge for the national team and the players.
Yes, so Carl, before coming to India, you played at Motherwell and Plymouth Argyle. So, what's the major difference you've noticed between the UK football and the Indian football?
Um, I think just the sheer scale of the football pyramid in the UK, it's so strong from obviously the Premier League right down to the fourth, fifth division. You've got full time football, and it's just so competitive. I think it's unique in the world in that sense, and it's so competitive in terms of places for players. There's just so many players coming from youth academies at the top teams that are coming down the league. So it's very, very competitive. It's a huge part of the culture. It's every town or every city. The football club is the kind of epicenter of their town or their city. So it's very unique in that sense. And I've been so lucky in my career to have played at some really, really good clubs. Bradford City and Plymouth were two fantastic clubs in terms of the division we were playing in at the time. We were playing in the fourth division, but we were getting 20,000 fans at games. It was incredible. And then obviously to have the experience to play in Motherwell, you're playing against in a global clubs, Celtic and Rangers, who are competing in the Champions League. So that was a great experience. Scotland was a bit difficult because of that. It's just such a difference between maybe the top teams in the league and the lower teams. Is a huge difference in the size of the clubs, but just again the football culture there is amazing. The atmosphere is amazing. People are obsessed with football, really. But yeah, as I said, I've been very lucky then to come to India, and you see it's a completely different experience here. But I can definitely see, I think the interest, obviously cricket is the number one sport here, but I think the football is growing, and I think the ISL has been a huge part of that.
Yeah, so Carl, in your first season with ATK, you suffered a injury. I think the game was against Mumbai. So how tough was the recovery phase for you back then?
Yeah, it was difficult at the time. Obviously, I'd made a big, career decision to come over here, and I got off to a really good start with ATK, and then for something like that to happen was very, very frustrating and difficult. But I think I've had numerous different challenges throughout my career. I think I'm quite resilient and mentally strong to be able to deal with these things at this stage of my career. And I had a good support system around me. The club were great with me at the time. They supported me and helped me through my rehab. And yeah, it's the worst part of football. I think for sure, injuries, as any player would tell you. Injuries are the worst part of football. But it's something you have to deal with. You have to just try and come back stronger from. And thankfully, I was able to come back the following season, and I got back to full fitness and kind of kicked on from there again. But yeah, injuries are horrible, but they're part and parcel of football as well.
So, Carl, are there any specific players from the past or the present who have inspired or influenced your playing style as a midfielder?
I don't know. It's a difficult one. I wouldn't say influenced, or I loved Roy Keane when I was younger. From coming from Ireland and a Man United supporter, I loved Roy Keane growing up. Yeah, I loved just how aggressive he was, and his will to win. But yeah, I think you maybe try to pick things up from different players, but yeah, you are whatever player you are as well. You've got your own specific strengths and weaknesses. But I definitely would have looked up to Roy Keane. He was a real hero growing up.
So far, what has been your most memorable moment in the seasons you spent in India?
I would say winning the final last year, probably. We came short a few years, like the final against Mumbai in the first bio bubble was very disappointing. Because we had a chance to win the double, the shield and the trophy, and we came up just short at the end. So that was tough. That was a real disappointment because we had a really good team that year, a really great team spirit and team environment, and that was difficult to deal with at the time. So to finally to get there and win the trophy then last season again after that was great. And last year there was a lot of ups and downs. But we managed to win the trophy in the end. So that was a good moment. Yeah.
Carl, as we come to the end of the podcast, I'd like to ask you one question that what would you like to convey to your faithful Goa fans as a long and tough season awaits you?
I just hope they're enjoying it so far, and just like they have been doing, get behind the team and support the team. You know, we're going to have ups and downs and some difficult times in the season for sure, as in any season. But yeah, I hope they know that the team is doing everything every day to bring the club success, and we'll keep doing that. Whatever happens for the season, they can be guaranteed that we'll keep working hard to to be as successful as we can for the rest of the year.
All right.
Yeah, so Carl, thanks for joining us. That will be it. Had a lovely time and a lovely discussion with you.
No problem. My pleasure.
Yes.